Yo, what they do. I'm your host, Aaron J. Jackson, also known as Marvin Bay. I welcome you to the 31st episode of Behind the Beer podcast, presented by the FGO Network. And right here, we got my boy, Anthony Freeman in the house in LA, you know what I'm saying, yes, for the second episode for season 4. So for the people that don't know who you are, introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's up? My name's Anthony Freeman. I'm a creative based here in LA. I've been a photographer for at least 10 years. That's been my main hustle. I do a lot of other creative things like branding, design, video. I've been doing modeling since I moved to LA, which has been really cool. You know what I'm saying? Really cool. Didn't kind of unexpected. I never really planned on doing that, so that's been a cool little extra bag out here. You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah. You know, you got that vibe, like, all around, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have, like, a distinct style. Everything you do, like, when it comes down to your brand, the way you model, the way you photograph, you just got that unique style. You know what I'm saying? Would you say the same and shit?
Yeah, I think it's something that, I've carved out, since I was, like, 13, 14, 15. I'm 27 now. Since I was, like, 15, 14, I had the same interest. Basically, everything I'm doing now. Dom Kennedy had a line, bro, in the Nip song, like, I grew up to be who I want to be. And I love that line. Cause I really feel like I did grow up to be who I wanted to be as far as everything that I am pursuing. And, I was on the internet heavy. I was like a military brat, so I was kind of trapped in places without a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
So the internet was always my escape. That's how I met people like you or whatever, and met hella creatives like that it's all came full circle. And I've met, a lot of these cats out in LA that I've actually known for years, and it's been cool, like, being able to, do my thing. But I definitely have always, paid attention to my image and how I do things, and then, like, just branding myself has been something I've done, since my teens, as far as my interest levels and my direction in life.
So, where are you from, and how was your upbringing like?
Yeah. So, originally, I was born in Austin, Texas, great city.
I've heard a lot of good things about Austin.
Yeah. It's a cool. You definitely gotta check it out. Interview some folks out there. There's a lot of creatives. It's a cool scene. It's not like the rest of Texas. Very conservative. It's alright, but like Austin's the one kind of liberal hub where you have a lot of artists and a lot of like music thriving and stuff like that. But I was raised in a military family though. My dad raised me. He was a very liberal military man. He was not really into the whole military government shit. Like, he liked to smoke and drink and encourage partying and like that type of lifestyle. I kind of grew up really into just basketball and rap music. Those were always my two things. I always thought I'd be in the NBA, low key. Like I was,
me too.
I was like 6'1" when I was in 6th grade. I thought I was gonna be at least 6'5". I thought I was gonna be the next, who knows. But,
it's crazy how, like, we thought that was going to be our destiny, but then it turns out something else is just beginning our destiny.
Yeah, it's like you never really know where your life is going to go.
Yeah.
But it's been cool, though. Like, I grew up traveling all around. It's gave me a lot of perspective, I feel like. And, it's helped with, like, I feel like my taste levels. Like, if you're from one place and you're only seeing one thing, you're not going to expand your taste levels and palettes. So I feel like living all around the world and traveling kind of helped, expand that as far as who I am.
So when did you start picking up the camera?
Yeah, I would say about 15. I got my first, like, digital SLR. It was a Sony joint. I forget the name of it, but I was just, like, mad into sneakers. Like, I was, like, a sneakerhead, and I was on, like all these forums, and, like, I just kind of got into taking pictures of my shoes. Nike Talk, Soul Collector, Hypebeast. I was on those heavy, and that's kind of where I got my, developed my interest in photography, just seeing other creatives around the world doing photography, kind of more sneaker, fashion related. So that's kind of where my interest in that started. And then I started shooting film at like 18. Like when I started shooting like 35 millimeter, I really like fell in love with it. Yeah. I kind of sold all my digital stuff, and I shoot with Canon A1. That was my first.
One of the best cameras.
One of the best, man. That was my first film camera. Every time it breaks, I get a new one. That's my baby. Yeah. I'm not really one of them gearhead photographers that's like buying new shit all the time. I don't think it's not really about that.
It's about your vision.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you envision the picture in your mind. Like, certain people might not, for instance, you got a lot of people that go into these galleries and that they don't really understand why this photographer took this picture. But me being a photographer as well, I'm like, yo, I understand. It's like I really want to have that personal conversation with that photographer, like, yo, what was going in your mind? Because when I photograph certain things that's like off the wall, I just like that just came to my head. I think it's dope, you know.
Yep.
So
definitely.
what photographers would you looking at, coming up in the game, as an aspiring photographer?
I mean, a lot of homies, man. Just people through Instagram. I mean, going to school and college, I did a minor in photography, so I learned a lot. I actually learned, like, I had to do history of photography, so I've looked at every single notable photographer there's been. I mean, I really like William Eggleston, like Joel Meyerowitz, like just their style in capturing things and documenting the world around them kind of really definitely did inspire me. But I feel like the grind and just seeing like people today work and like homies that I've seen come up, that
Moments.
Really inspired me.
Like kind of like moments. You kind of appreciate moments, and that's why I feel like photography, especially in our time, we don't appreciate of. Like, I feel like a lot of people are too serious with the photography game. Not everybody, but obviously, like, oh, I gotta get this. Nah, sometimes you got to live in the moment and capture the moments.
Capture
you know
the
what I'm
moment as it is, rough or not. Like, however, like definitely, like definitely, I agree with that.
Because like 20 years down the line, we're gonna look at like, damn, bro, remember when we was at X, Y, and Z? You know what I'm saying? We look back like at memories, especially of what we do as not only just photographers, just people that do other things, and it's like you look back at things and just go crazy. So when did you start to tell yourself like, yo, okay, I found a new craft, but I want to take this shit serious?
Yeah, man, I would say definitely during my college years. I mean, I kind of, like, I started, man, I was in college for like 7 years continuous getting my degree. It was something that just took me forever. I was just not focused, and I kept changing my degree. But during definitely my college years, just shooting film and getting addicted to it, and the idea of building like a portfolio and a lasting thing, like my like really like something that drove me a lot. Like, my dad passed away when I was 17, like right before I went to college, and he's like just the biggest inspiration in my life. And he left behind like tubs and tubs and tubs of negatives and photos, because my dad, he wasn't per se a photographer, but he was someone that constantly documented his life, and he shot film, and it was cool, like leaving that behind. And that kind of stuck with me. Like, man, I really do want to just keep going with this shit. I don't really have a direction. I do know that I'm passionate about documenting and shooting. And then it kind of just developed from there to to where I'm at now.
That kind of reminded me of the Vivian Myers story. How like she had like a whole bunch of negatives, and she was like a nanny, and then somehow, some way, a guy found her negatives in a goddamn, what's that shit called, like a warehouse space where they was auctioning everything out. And it's just like, it's crazy how you don't really have to be, it goes back to like moments. You don't have to be like a photographer. You can just capture moments and stuff like that. And that's crazy how like your parents, they kind of have like a little inspiration into you, in the long run. And so how would you describe your style in photography? Because you have, like I said, you have a distinct style.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, composition is always just the biggest thing to me. You know what I'm saying? Composition and exposure. I really think just getting properly exposed photos is definitely the most important thing. Like, you want to have your shit lit right, and I think if you understand that, and then you really start to build on your composition, I feel like my style is developed from there. Like, whether I'm shooting buildings or cars or people, you could tell. I feel like my style, it shows it all in the same kind of light.
In your own words, why film? Me and you love film, but describe in your own words why you love film.
I feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized how to answer this question better. Like, it definitely looks cooler, and like I enjoy the process of like shooting a film, not seeing a photo, and you get the film back. Obviously that's all a big part, but I think really like just sticking to what's traditional and classic. I just feel like, as far as my personal style and my wardrobe and how I carry myself, and then as far as my art and photography, I try to chase more classic, traditional themes, and you know, I just feel like that it ages better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not hopping on to trends or things like that,
Just
but
doing
being
you.
true to myself, and you know, as far as just trying to be a classic man in 2020, you know, whatever that means, basically.
So, how what made you like start shooting street photography? Because I noticed that you seem like a cat that just be out in the streets and you just like to explore. Like, what made you choose street photography?
Yeah, really, the biggest thing that really drove me to kind of to do that, pursue like street photography, especially in my formulative years trying to chase photography, was like I was in Oklahoma City for almost like maybe more than like 10 years, a decade, before I moved to LA. That was where I ended up doing high school and college. Like my dad, that's where he retired in the military from. And I was stuck in a place that was boring, didn't offer a lot, and it didn't really excite me. So it really made me just get in my car with film in my camera and weed, and I would just drive all around the state or cities and explore and look for things that interested in me. So I feel like that kind of has stuck with me. So wherever I'm traveling to, you know, I just like to hit this, just see everything. I just like to see everything and capture it as I see it.
Speaking of that, when you shoot around, like when you go around and shoot, do you think of a perspective of when you shoot, for instance, people around, in the streets, or like you do landscapes, or when you go out in like the desert, for instance, and stuff like, do you think of a perspective of, damn, how would this look in the print? Like,
Yes.
would you?
Definitely, I would say, definitely. I've had, 2020's changed shit. I've had galleries every year for the last like 6 years, and it's something that I definitely want to keep pursuing. I think seeing your photographs in that aspect really does change things. You really do understand photography in a different way, and then especially like even going to somewhere like the MoMA and seeing photographers who are dead, but their stuff is up there. You wonder, why is their stuff there? What makes it, you know what I'm saying? And it just makes you question all these things. And I just think that's something definitely I have an interest in. I want my stuff to be in a moment when I'm dead and gone. And I definitely think about that when I'm capturing any image, like whatever it is. I'm like, this better be gallery ready, you know? I've done enough building and stuff to where I'm like, every photograph I take better be the best. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it.
Especially when you're showing it to the world, you know what I'm saying, and the quality. And you talked about going to school for photography. Like, what was the lessons that they taught you that you apply to this day? Not only just shooting or the dark room, but like printing, because that comes with printing and stuff like that in the dark room as well. So it's, I really did learn a lot in school. I know a lot of people kind of shade college, and I was kind of lost, and I was in a state where I didn't have shit to do. I didn't have the money or the means to get out, or that's what I thought anyway. So I did do college, and I'm glad I did. I did learn a lot that really readied myself even more, matured myself even more. I feel like I learned a lot of the technical things about photography that I see a lot of young photographers don't really have, and not to shade them, but especially composition. And how you explained that
definitely.
earlier.
Composition and exposure. Like, I see a lot of photographers who just shoot in volume and their exposures are all off, and I'm like, man, I really want to, like, let me help you, I just can't stand bad exposed photos. But no, I really did learn just the technical stuff, and then like I would have never ever really, or maybe not, but I didn't have the interest to go back and look at old photographers and who's like some of the notable ones. I didn't have that interest, but school forced it on me, and it did show me, and I really did develop an interest in these people's lives and the way they did shoot, and kind of just made me think of it like that, like, just definitely the longevity of it, like man, being remembered for something. Like, if I want to be a photographer, be the best one. If I want to be something, be the best one.
Or just anything in life, whatever endeavor you do, you want to be the best that you can be, because not only just you showing it to the world, but the inner you is like getting to you, like, damn, I like, it's like working out. You you're doing them 10 push-ups, but you could do 20, but the inner you is like, yo, I didn't do that 20, fuck, like, what I'm saying? It's one of them type of situations. So we in LA right now, downtown LA, so the vibes,
sirens all day.
You know what I'm saying? But so what got you to start modeling? Like, how did you even get
Yeah,
started
that's
modeling?
cool. I was always really mad into like just fashion and how I look, not in a ego sense, but just like
The
that
image.
was the image of how you carry yourself. I feel like that says a lot about you, and I was always just really interested in that. Like I was, and I came out here kind of not really. I was chasing photography. That was kind of what I thought I would really be pursuing, and it is something I'm still pursuing and doing, but it's not something like. I thought I'd be like a broke photographer, struggling for money, and it's been cool because I got like scouted, I guess you would say per se, by a modeling agent. Went in for she actually shopped at. I've been a butcher for 7 years. I actually just recently kind of stepped down, and I'm doing my thing full time. But I've been a butcher for 7 years. That's been my bread and butter, paying my rent. And this lady that actually shopped at the store I was at, she actually bought beef from me every day. And then we had some convos. I went in for a meeting with her, and then she signed me to a contract to model. And she represents me as a model and actor, something I definitely never really did think coming from Oklahoma. I knew about that world. I just kind of wanted to be on the other end shooting it. I didn't ever think, oh man, you know what? They right, I could be a model. And then it happened like that. And then it's been a blessing definitely. Like she's gotten me some cool jobs, some cool commercials. I was in some national commercial ads that really really cool experience. I had a billboard up in New York City. It was for American Express, and my face was on that mug.
How was that feeling? How was that feeling? Just seeing yourself in a billboard.
That was surreal, honestly. Like, I haven't really been in LA that long, I feel like. So things like that are really, I'm just not used to yet, So that's something very surreal. And I feel like that's why I really do love LA, because I feel like every day I almost get that feeling either on a big scale or small scale. But part of me still can't believe that I'm here doing what I'm doing. I'm just really thankful. I feel blessed and lucky, but I feel ready. You know?
I feel like LA gives you that. Everywhere you go, you get inspired by me even being here for 2 weeks. It's just like, damn, like even the palm trees, you just in the hills, from seeing it from a distance, it's just like, yo. And then the little things matter, because it's like you could apply that to your work. You know what I'm saying? Because you follow through inspiration versus being from a small city versus like being in like a small community. It's just like you don't really find inspiration. You have to find inspiration through probably even the internet. You know what I'm saying? And but how do you keep the balance of modeling and photographing?
That's been something I've been just learning how to balance and juggle. I feel like with COVID, it kind of definitely slowed down a lot of the modeling per se, more on the commercial end. Like, I used to have castings like every week, multiple. I got to go to castings. You're in a room full of other models, and you're going for a job. And that all slowed down. So I'm not really doing that too much right now. Like, there's a lot more like self-taping with your phone and sending it in, and that's cool too. But I feel like a lot of that slowed down. But I mean, just doing both, I've been learning to juggle, and it's been really cool. Like yesterday, I went on a cool shoot for a brand doing an editorial, and I was modeling, and it was cool taking tips and just like seeing how that photographer worked. Her name's Emma, and she had a really cool process. She had all these mediums she was working with. So I feel like it's cool to like soak up game, being on the modeling side, looking at the the photographer or whoever, like
Do you think by you saying that, I was gonna follow up with this question, but do you think modeling and photography correlate with one another, as in like you being a photographer and you being a modeling, and if so, why?
Yeah, I think definitely, like, because I feel like I know exactly how to shoot people, so I feel like that reflects in my modeling, because I feel like it's a little more natural. I don't feel awkward. I don't feel anyway. I'm just trying to get the best photograph made, so I feel like I can work with the photographer well every time and not feel any way. But so I feel like that's definitely helped me, and I feel like relatively new to the whole modeling thing. I mean, it hasn't been that long, because it is something that I want to see longevity in. I want to keep building my photography portfolio, my brand, but I also want to keep building my modeling portfolio. I would love to model in Paris and for, these big fashion houses like Louis Vuitton or Gucci. Like, that would be cool. I would definitely it's been a new passion of mine. I feel like, you know, in the last 2 years, something that I really do want to keep exploring and furthering myself in.
It's kind of like a science, because like even when you photographed me the other day, it's kind of like I know like where to pose, because the way you like you're at, it's like a science. It's weird, because it's like is. I bet when you first, like the first time you probably was like for modeling and stuff like that, you just like, okay, he's right here, so that means I have to, you know what I'm saying? It's like a science. It's like, and even, you know, even photography, we both know it's like a science behind that. You know, f-stop, the numbers, you know, the right, like the dynamic range and everything like that. It's so crazy how photography could really, it's really science. And even really developing even developing film on top of that, dealing with chemicals, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. It is. It's this whole scientific process, and even thinking about angles and the way that you capture things. You know, like I feel like when I'm looking around at things, I'm almost looking through a camera lens. You know, I feel like I'm seeing the angles. Everything I'm looking at, I know exactly how I would photograph it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's interesting. It is all just science. You know, it's like,
and it's like automatic science on top of your mind. Like, okay, I know this, because it's like, even especially with film, since you know you have to wait until you get developed, you know that like f-stop 8, that's gonna cover pretty much the whole thing. So it's like, okay, if I shoot at f-stop 8, I know that my shutter speed got to be this. You know what I'm saying? Just like automatically, it's like an automatic thing that becomes. It's kind of like repetition. The more you do it, the more you know. But how do you still educate yourself to this day when it comes down to photography, and educate yourself to better your craft each day?
Yeah, I think just continuing to explore other artists, and, you know, continue to be, I feel like, just passionate about it. You know, I love to look for new artists that inspire me. I feel like I'm constantly inspired. I don't ever have days where I'm not inspired. I feel like I'm thankful for that. I don't know if anyone else, you know, I don't know how other people's creative process is, but I am constantly inspired. Sometimes it is overwhelming, so I feel like, you know, sometimes it is good to just put your phone down and just like let your shit breathe, because we live in a world where we're just bombarded with imagery and visuals, and I feel like it's easy to kind of stay inspired and stay sharp because of everything around me and all the other creatives working. You know, like I'm like, man, that project he just dropped was dope, bro. But that makes me want to go harder. You know what I'm saying? I just use it like that, I guess.
You know, like I'm going to school for commercial art, and my teacher, he pretty much he put everything in perspective on why art is very important to the world, and how really art makes the world goes around. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, it's signs in every building. Everybody needs signs. Everybody needs billboards of photography work. You know what I'm saying? To market. You know what I'm saying? It's just so crazy how, you know, the average person might think art is just art, but to people like us, we know that art makes the world go around and stuff like that.
Definitely.
So let's talk about your brand, Anonymous Studios. Like, how did the name come about, and how did you start making it?
I mean, I got sick about whenever the fuck that was, a month and a half ago or so. But I got the COVID, and nothing really keeps me inside. I just like to be on the go. Sometimes I wish I stayed at home more, but that obviously made me stay inside. So
fuck going out, by the way.
Yeah, fuck going out. You know what I'm saying? No, so I was stuck inside, and I started out a graphic design major. I've had a few other like brands that I've had with homies, you know, that we did that just stopped for whatever reason, and it was always something that I've wanted to do again. And I kind of feel when I got sick, I just like hit that inspiration, like, you know, and I just kind of started designing, and I was like, man, I really do want to give this a shot again. And I just feel like I'm always feeling like tomorrow might be my last day. I feel like I kind of had that mindset. Like, I've had a lot of people close to me pass, and even during COVID, like my mom had a heart attack. She ended up surviving, but I just feel like I'm constantly having those thoughts in my head that life could end at any moment. And I'm like, I don't have time to wait around to do a brand. If I want to do a brand, I can do it now and be doing photography and modeling. I don't need to limit myself to anything, you know what I'm saying? So, and I knew that like people wear clothes every day. I don't care if there's a million brands. I don't care if you don't believe in me having a brand. I know that I can sell a product and create a good product, and I want to continue to show and build that. And you know, we all put on clothes every day. There's plenty of room. Like if you want to make clothes, you go make clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Most
if you want to make music, you make music. If you want to be a photographer, be a photographer.
Don't let nobody tell you anything different. Is that what you want to do? That's what you want to do.
For real.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people get intimidated by that. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
And it's like, bruh, who gives a fuck? If somebody really fuck with your shit, they gonna fuck with your shit hands down. And that's how you. And that's how you kind of create, how should I say this, like a cult following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not even about just the cult following, but it's just the purpose of you finding your purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Finding your purpose and following through with it, you know, or else, like Nipsey said, you just wasting air. And I feel like I don't want to waste air. I don't want to just die and be done. I want to die and things live on after
legacy.
Me, you know, a legacy, really, like a brand, a company, you know, something you could leave behind to your kids or something, you know, like that really idea kind of definitely stuck with me. And then like losing a parent, you know, has definitely just shaped me in so many ways. Yeah. But and to tap back into, I didn't answer the name Anonymous Studios. I feel like my website, I've always had the same website, anthonywho.com, since like 15. That was my like blog spot name back, and then changed into a Tumblr, and then like now it's my like portfolio site where you can, you know, view everything. And it was always like my like moniker or whatever. I don't even know where that came from. It was just like, who the fuck is Anthony? Whatever, it don't even matter. Here's my, you know, here's my photos. And then kind of just being the idea of being like behind the scenes, behind the camera. Always, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the name Anonymous kind of just branched off of that, you know, and just the ideology of just being behind the scenes and creating a product and putting it out.
What I love about the brand is that it's good craftsmanship. I feel like it's very hands on, and that's why, as me wearing homie stuff or wearing like, you know, obviously brands like Stussy or Carhartt, Dickies and stuff like that in the past, or I still wear them, but it's like the craftsmanship behind it. I don't want to just wear anything that just, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to wear something that, damn, this person really was hands on with this shit. And I feel like, you know, we talked about it prior to the interview. It was just like how, you know, how you want to shape certain, you know, pieces in, you know, how you know what I'm saying? Just like, it's like design is very important. You know what I'm saying? Design is fun. Like, you know, even though like,
it's fun. Yeah, it is. You know, at the end of the day, let it be fun. Don't let it kill you, man. Don't let it become some ego driven competition, man. Don't even be worried about the next man, the next brand, you know?
Where do you see the brand in a few years? In your perspective, or however you want the brand to be in a few years?
Excuse me.
That gas, boy, that gas. That's LA, but
yeah, that's a little weed shop I just hit. Goddamn, nah. So the brand, I definitely want to go, you know, like the traditional streetwear route. You know, I want to sell direct to consumer. You know, do it all myself. You know, I want to design and sell and, you know, shoot and do it all myself. That's always been my, you know, dream. Like I want to just run my own company and do it all, like, and I feel like I can. So I would love to just take that challenge on and see where it could go. You know, I want to continue to just keep selling, you know, obviously on the internet. I want to have more pop-ups. I would love to get my, you know, shirts eventually and my clothing, you know, in some cool shops that I like, you know. But as a whole, I just want to keep creating things that I like for me to wear. And if y'all like it, cool. And if you don't, well, shit, I'll figure out something else then, you know? But I definitely just want to keep wearing shit that I like because I enjoy the process of creating a design and then printing it and you're wearing it and everything that branches off as far as that, you know?
So what's next for Anthony?
Yeah. Okay. I just want to keep going, man. Just learn how to balance my time more. I'm learning how to scheduling everything more. Everything is just kind of it gets hectic, man. Like, you know, I've been used to kind of clocking into a job I hate for a while, and now I'm finally for real free and I'm like working for myself completely. So just learning how to balance everything that goes along with that while still pushing myself and trying to always, you know, push the creative envelope. I don't want to just be doing one thing. I don't want you to get used to seeing, oh, this shirt shot that way. I want you to, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden you see some visual that like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, whoa, I didn't even expect, you know. I just want to keep kind of pushing the envelope as far as what I can, you know, create.
Most definitely. So what advice would you give for somebody that wants to take the similar path you did or are doing?
Yeah, I love to talk to people that really do want to, you know, and if anyone ever hits me up, I try to always hit them back and, you know, tell them, because I feel like, why not? Like, you know, like, honestly, like Nipsey Hussle did. Like, I've been listening to that guy for a long time. Like, my friends put me on to him in Oklahoma when we were like, you know, before Crenshaw, before, I don't know, it was like Bullets Got No Name volume. I don't know. It's been a long time. And I just really, it stuck with me, kind of his message, like, damn, I'm blanking out. Hold up, I got high and shit. No, his message is just like continuing on and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like to anyone that wants to pursue anything, like, listen to Nipsey Hussle.
G Code.
You know, I mean, other than that, like, just stick to the formula. I mean, you know, look up the people that inspire you and see what they said. And I bet it's similar. There's a formula. It's nothing new. You got to believe in yourself. You got to, you know, create this work ethic that will get you there. Because once you fall in love with the process of what you're doing, it will never be work, and you'll always push yourself. You know, if you're in love with photography, if you're in love with that thing, if you're in love with cooking, then cook and be that chef. You know, don't just be a chef in Applebee's. Like, be that chef. So really, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what I feel like I want to tell people. Whatever it is that you are wanting to do, like, love that shit and go for it, and don't stop until, you know, you can't.
Yeah, like I always tell people, the journey is always more fun than the outcome.
Hey, yeah, man, I got a tattoo on me. The journey is the reward somewhere on me. It's like on my leg or some shit. Yeah. But the journey is the reward. I don't got the answers as far as deep philosophical things, but I don't really necessarily believe in afterlife. And I feel like this journey we're on now is the reward of it all. Like, enjoy your journey, make the best of it. What if we do live one time and this is it? You know, like, I feel like that's my philosophy, and that's how I carry myself.
That's respect. You gotta live your life to your last, you know, till you drop. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you gotta take advantage. And I feel like it's people like you and other people that I interview that they need to hear this stuff, because there's a person out there that don't get to hear this on a day-to-day basis. So if they hear you, you know, that's key. And you never know, you might fuck around somebody in London hear this shit like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
But how can the people get in touch with you or reach you?
Follow my Instagram, Anthony WX. I put everything on there, you know, man. Instagram is what it is. We all use it. It's a tool. Anthony WX is my Instagram. From there, you can find everything, my brand, my website, anthonywho.com, anonymousstudios.us is the website and Instagram. But yeah, Anthony WX, you can find everything about me you need to find out. I would say that's the easiest way.
All right. Appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate you.
All right. Episode 31. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And we out.